What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. If you saw my last video, you will already understand that today I'm going to be speaking about the element fire and talking about basically how it expresses itself, or how we use that energy, or how we express the energy of fire, I guess, essentially. And so let's get right into the video. I explained why I'm doing this in the previous one, so if you didn't catch that, you can jump straight into that last video and understand why I think understanding the elements is important. Now, fire as an element, you can really get a basic understanding of it just by thinking about a fire. And so, you know, if you think about a fire and the way it behaves, you'll understand how we express the element fire. Now, the first thing is fire is active, right? It's an active element. It's hot, it has a lot of energy to it, and it's a very active element. And people who express a lot of fire can be very active, and actually activity can be important for those that do have a lot of fire in their chart. Participating in sports, games and regular exercise can be great for somebody with excess fire or excess energy. Okay, so it's an excitable energy. Think about when a fire ignites, it's like, whew, it's exciting. Think about fireworks, that all of this kind of exciting energy that presents itself through the element of fire. It's initiating, it's action oriented, there's no problem with the fire signs or the fire people to get things started, to take action on ideas. They are action oriented, quite driven, and even can be quite inspirational. It's an inspirational type of energy, like, you know, the energy that we get from the sun. It helps to nourish us, it helps to feed us, it helps us to support us and sustain us. And so that kind of same energy comes from the element of fire. It's warm, it gives energy, okay? And so it can be inspirational, motivational, you know, and all of that kind of stuff. So people who have that fire in them can show all of these things. They are very passionate people, okay? You know, fire is like, or you know, if you think of Leo the lion and love, fire is that there's a romance to fire, okay? Like, you know, it's nice and romantic to sit in front of a fireplace. And so there's that passion to fire as well. It's really felt in the heart when the person with fire is coming from the heart. Now, this kind of goes into the opposite type of energy. There's some of the positive aspects, you know, they're confident, all of that kind of stuff. It can be really, really great. From a negative perspective or lower perspective, you know, that fire, that same fire can be overwhelming, okay? The fire people can burn too hot. They can be too much, okay? And so they can be impatient because they are so active and so moving and so energetic, that when there's other people around them that don't have that same energy, that don't have that same kind of fire in them, that spark, that activeness, they can get frustrated and they can become impatient with those around them. And I'm sure we all know a fire person that's a bit like that. They can come across as insensitive and self-centered because they are so action-oriented, they are so fiery and energetic in themselves that they can just appear to be insensitive. Like, you know, the thing that needs to come to a fire person when they are appearing or when they are being insensitive is water. The element water will balance that out, and water is all about emotions and sensitivity. And so it's the complete opposite to fire. It's like literally the opposite of sign. And so sometimes, you know, when that fire is blazing too strong for the water, then they can be insensitive and appear very insensitive to those around them. And that can be detrimental to their personal relationships. And so understanding that for a fire dominant person, or a person that expresses a lot of that fire energy, is essential. They can be bossy, they can be forceful, you know, they can take on too much, they can be very, very overwhelming. Think about what happens when, you know, if the sun was burning too strong every day. You literally burn the feminine principle, you burn the Mother Earth, you dry it out, and it actually becomes, you know, too much, and life cannot thrive. So on one hand, it can be motivational and inspirational and provide this nurturing energy that allows you know, everything on earth to grow and thrive. But on the other hand, you know, if it burns too strong, it can actually kill all of the stuff that's around it. And so for the fire person, understanding this can be great because they can recognize the positive qualities of fire, but they can also see the negative qualities of fire, and they can see when they're burning their surroundings and actually burning themselves, and they can see when they're lighting up themselves and inspiring those around them, which is really great. It's a great quality of the fire. Now, I love fire as an element because, I like it when I'm feeling the effects of fire because I'm action oriented and I'm getting stuff done, and I really like the feel of that. So understanding the element fire, it's just so great. Understanding all of the elements is just so great, really. But I think fire is a massively positive element until it gets out of hand. Now, it's the same with all elements. When they get out of hand, when they go into a place in which we're expressing too much of that element, the element goes from being constructive to destructive. And that is why I'm making these videos, because you can understand it when we all understand earth, we all understand the elements, we all understand what's around us, because we are them. Okay, we are made of the elements. We understand them. We understand air, we understand earth, we understand fire, we understand water. It's very clear to us how these kind of things behave. And so I've lost my trail of thought, but yeah, just understanding them is really, really great. So, there's some of the aspects that are related to the sign of fire, both positive and negative. Now, I'm going to quickly touch on the signs of the zodiac that are linked to fire, and these signs are Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. And all of these signs express fire a little bit differently. Now, Aries is very fiery. It has that aggressive tone, or it's action oriented. It wants to be first, and so it's really, really active, very active. Like, it's probably the most active fire sign, I would say, Aries. And so it expresses fire in that way. Now, Leo can be, when it's advanced, very loving and very warm, and actually very nurturing and very inspirational. Leo has that attraction. People are attracted to the Leo. It's like the sun, okay? And it's actually ruled by the sun. And then Sagittarius is adventurous. It's fun. Again, it's active. It's expansive. Also can be very inspirational. All of them can be very inspirational, by the way. Not just Leo. In fact, everybody can be inspirational. But Sagittarius it's fun, and it can, there's something about the fire sign that it can have a lack of self-control, because if you ever see a fire that is out of control, it just goes and consumes everything around it. And the Sagittarius can be very generous and just, keep expanding forever and ever and ever, looking for more experiences. And so fire presents itself in those three signs like that, but just because you are one of those signs, it doesn't actually mean that you are fire dominant. There are other aspects of your chart that kind of show fiery signs, or show the signs of fire. Okay, so if you've got a lot of cardinal energy, and then there's other, if you've got a lot of planets in fire signs, that can boost your fire. And so just learning to look at fire, understand fire, recognize fire in people around you, recognize fire in yourself, will help you to get a greater understanding of fire without even having to understand your natal chart. You should be able to kind of get a sense of how much you relate to that, just from kind of what I've said. Okay, so if there is two, this is the great thing about understanding the elements. You can see if you've got too little fire, right? Are you not taking action? Are you kind of just plodding along? Are you not, doing anything? Are you not? This is how you perceive this is up to you. Now, you don't have to do anything in life, but if you feel like you're stuck in a rut, if you feel like you're not moving forwards, okay, then you might want to increase the fire in your life, or you might want to learn how to use some of that fire energy. And I really do think that all of us have access to all of the types of energy. We just got to tune in. We got to understand ourselves. We've got to learn about these energies and how they work, and then we can actually grab a hold of them and pull them into our existence and pull them into our experience, which is the cool thing. Okay, so you can start practicing using fire if there's not very much fire in your chart. Now, one thing that I like to think about when it comes to fire and enhancing the fire in your life is, what is it that we need to create fire? And we need air, and we need earth. Okay, and so something that can actually generate fire, generate a spark, is taking an idea, okay, so air, taking an idea from the mind and bringing it down to earth, grounding that idea, making it something that can become tangible, if that's the word, something that can become form, okay? And once you get that idea, that really cool idea that is from a higher place, and you bring it down to earth, you get excited about it, okay? That's just how it is. You get excited, and therefore you bring that fire element into your life. And then once you get that excitement, roll with it and practice using that element, okay? So if there's too little fire, just play around with using it, and you'll probably have to watch some of the other videos and see where you're maybe high on some of the other elements, and that will help. If you can bring those down, you'll probably bring some of that fire up. If you've got too much water, you could be just drowning out the fire that's there. Now, if you've got too much fire, learning to recognize the negative traits of fire, or the negative aspects that I spoke about, will be great for you, because that fire can burn so strong to the people around them, especially if they're not high on that fire element, that you don't only affect yourself, but you affect your personal relationships. And all of the signs can affect all of the elements can affect their personal relationships, but fire can be a very strong energy. And it will, you can burn those relationships, and you don't really understand why. Why is it that this person doesn't want to be around me anymore? Why is it that they're saying I'm this and that and too much? So if you begin to learn when you're being insensitive, and we don't have to be the emotional support for anybody, but understanding people is great. And that's what can happen with the fire person, is they can lose this understanding, this ability to understand the people around them, and that's what frustrates the people. Learning to recognize when you're being impatient, bossy, aggressive, dominant, working too hard, burning yourself out, burning those around you. Like, if you're in a manager's position, and you're kind of burning those around you and creating all these rules and being so active, and they're not quite the same as you, you'll burn those relationships. You'll burn those people around you. So just learning to recognize that, and learning to calm those energies when you are too high on the fire. Okay, a couple of things that can be great is exercise. Okay, however, exercise only under certain conditions. So if you've got like too much fire and maybe too much mind, exercise is only gonna stop you addressing the too much mind, and so you'll need to do some calming exercise. But if you've got too much fire, too much energy, exercise, sports, games, channeling some of that energy into that stuff will be awesome. And also bringing in some of that water element, so actually learning to calm that energy and bring that energy down. Once again, totally dependent, I'm not going to go too far into this, totally dependent on the situation, which would require a deeper understanding of your whole constitution and your activities. So but that's just a basic touch on it. So that is it. Anything, too much of anything can cause disease and discomfort within the body. And so understanding this, number one, is going to help you to take better care of yourself, to keep your body healthy. That's essential to keep your vessel that you're here to perform your task on working and functioning well. But it's also going to help you understand yourself, and in understanding yourself, you begin to understand the universe and how the universe works. You begin to understand the universal laws, you begin to understand energy, and then that allows you to really step into your higher self and perform your soul purpose here on earth. So yeah, this can be great. Understanding the energies can be great for developing personally and spiritually. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you like this video, please like it, love it, share the love. So if you like this video, like it. I said that again. Oh my God, I've forgotten it. If you like my content, subscribe to my channel, because I've got loads more coming. If you've got something to say, comment below. I will try and reply. I'm not always the best, because I don't always check the YouTube app, but I will try and reply. And finally, guys, I hope you have an awesome day. And that is it. I'll see you in the next video, where we will talk about the element of